Welcome for a new episode of A Soldier's Life. I'm Sergeant First Class Mike Ward from the Horseheads recruiting station up at the Art Mall in Horseheads. Listen, this is a great episode about the Army Reserves. Before we get into some videos, I just want to talk about the Army Reserves real quick. So it's a really great opportunity. It's a part-time commitment to the Army Reserves. You do 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks during the summer months. It's when it's typically when that 2 weeks of training is scheduled. That's primarily reason because most of our reservists are college students. That way you're not interfering with your fall and your spring semester. So we're going to go on location down at Nichols with the 698th was Sergeant First Class Barriger out of the Vestal recruiting station. He's a great guy. He's going to break down some of the components of the reserves. They did some training down there, some driver's night training. We're going to talk to an officer down there about nursing and their first sergeant down there.
So today we're on location at the 698th Reserve Center in Nichols, New York, kind of going through the Army Reserves and discussing their training and the availabilities within their units. So this unit is primarily a position that requires logistics. A lot of the positions that are available here require logistics specialists. They also are in need of culinary arts. Those are the two most needed positions within here. There's approximately 75 vacancies available. So being able to step into a part-time job in the logistics field or in the culinary arts field with no training at all and being actually paid to be trained is pretty amazing. The Army Reserves is an opportunity for men and women that want to go into college, but they don't have the ability to go as full-time soldier. So the Army Reserves allows them, after they complete their training, which will be an active duty time during the training period, anywhere from 5 months to over a year based on the job that they choose. This allows them the opportunity to work 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, being a part-time citizen soldier. Gives them the opportunity to go to college, focus on their education, or even if they have a career already in the civilian sector, this gives them that ability to still serve this great nation and on a part-time basis. So the Army Reserves, because we only get together 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks out of the year, it's important that we utilize all of our time to get the training required. We have annual training that is required. So the blackout drive light driving at night is driving Humvees and other vehicles with night vision goggles. The importance of doing this is that any time we're in a combat area and we're traveling at night, we don't want to be seen by the enemy. So we drive in what is called blackout conditions, where there's a little light on the front of the Humvee that's hard to see with the naked eye, but with night vision goggles, it illuminates the entire road and the surrounding areas. When you put on night vision goggles, it's like looking through binoculars. Just not as, I guess it's not as bad. Yeah, the perception, though, is because it's nighttime and the perception isn't as if you were just looking through both eyes. It can cause you to be off a little when you're traveling. So the purpose of doing the training, obviously, is to ensure that we become familiar and comfortable with driving with these. So when we're in real-world situations, we're successful in our missions. So the night vision driving is actually part of driver's training that our soldiers go through whenever they're licensed on military vehicles. It's something that we'll use regularly to help keep that skill honed. And that way, again, if we're ever in that position that we will have to drive with that, we'll be proficient. So the training that we go through is what we call a crawl, walk, and run phase. Crawl is we're just starting out and going through classes, get the familiarity with the night vision goggles, sitting in the vehicle, and just sitting there and kind of getting used to that environment. The walk phase is we'll go out and put night vision goggles on and actually walk the terrain at night so we have an idea of what we're going to be doing. So it gives you a precursor or prelude to what you're actually going to be doing. And then the run phase is you're in the vehicle and you're driving. So a lot of soldiers enjoy this, but we try and make the training as fun as possible, but also the importance is keeping it safe. Obviously, something like this can be pretty dangerous at night if something should fail or not go through. So it's important that we follow all the steps to be able to ensure everybody's safe. Because if I was just to give you something and say, go do it, with no training or experience at all, bad things may happen. So we like to ensure that everybody is safe. Of course, safety is our number one. Everything that we do requires a risk assessment. So we look at everything that could go wrong and we find out what we can do to prevent that from happening, and then we follow through with the mission. Having the ability to be able to help a young man or woman to be able to accomplish a dream of theirs, being able to become successful is something that I enjoy the most. My position really is to work side by side with soldiers as a leader, but having the ability to help a young man or woman in the civilian sector transform into a soldier is something you can never, ever imagine until you've actually done it.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the nursing program in the Army Reserves and the Army. We're going to go and talk with Lieutenant Pritchard. She's currently serving down there in Nichols as a nurse, pursuing her degree in nursing that the Army has picked up the tab on.
I found the Army Reserves through ROTC at Cornell University, and I went to Elmira College through the nursing program, and knowing that I could do nursing in both the civilian and Army side got me very interested. So far I've been here for the last 3 years, and I've also done 1 AT at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin with the 698th, and I've also done a lot through ROTC. I've been to Fort Knox twice and had an opportunity to do a nursing internship. I think the most challenging part was trying to balance nursing school and the reserves at the same time, but it's definitely possible. I actually got a 3.5-year scholarship through the ROTC, and they covered everything but half of a year for my nursing degree. Knowing that I don't have student loans to pay off, and I just enter into the real world after graduating and starting my nursing career without having to worry about my student loans or anything is such a weight off my shoulders. I have an 8-year contract, so I'm planning on doing those first 8 years and then seeing where it takes me after that. Because I definitely want to go for my master's as well, and I know that the Army can help out with that too.
All right, that was great hearing from the lieutenant right there, Lieutenant Pritchard. And now we're going to watch some videos about some of the nursing programs in the United States Army.
Been in the Army 13 years, and I am a nurse corps officer. I'm a 66 hotel, which is a med-surg nurse, and I specialized in ICU nursing. This is the Army Medical Department Basic Officer Leader course, and my job is to mentor, coach, and teach new nurses. As officers, we're leading teams, we're leading NCOs and soldiers to take care of patients. So our nurse practitioners and certified nurse anesthetists are in high demand. Nurses who have specialized training and certification in critical care nursing.
They help take some of the workload off the physicians and the physician's assistants and provide care for our soldiers.
It's a mission and a commitment to help. Being an Army nurse and wearing this uniform definitely has a different meaning. We're all brothers and sisters.
And then you're going to want to check with the patient to make sure that they're okay.
The Army Medical Department and nurses are always there to take care of them.
I wanted to be an Army nurse specifically because I wanted to serve a greater purpose than myself or a general hospital. I wanted to serve the country. I wanted to serve the soldiers. This project I'm working on, it's called the Heart Failure Binder. And so we're trying to teach patients, you need to own a scale, first of all, weigh yourself every day. And then knowledge of these worsening symptoms prompts them, we're hoping, to call their doctor or the nurse's hotline. So it's all preventative care. I would say the Army definitely allows the opportunities within the workplace. And you sharpen your leadership skills and try to work as a team. Teamwork is essential, especially in nursing. For me, I'm interested in pursuing a nurse practitioner career later on. I found out that the Army again will be able to pay for this nurse practitioner degree. I would say there's a good balance between work life and home life. The Army makes it possible. They work with you. When I get off work, I love to go home to my fiance, Chance, work hard while I'm at work out, go to church, be with my family, and all of that is going to make me be a better soldier and a better nurse. If you enjoy doing it, it's not really a sacrifice. I really love what I do.
We'll talk to you about 4 things today. Who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're getting after it. Who we are. This is the most important single thing I want you to think about, and I want you to understand this once you hear this from me, Double Eagle 6. America's Army Reserve, 200,000 soldiers spread across 20 time zones, 7/8 around the world. Largest Federal Reserve force in the world, and a team that is poised, positioned, and ready to support the warfighter in any number of theaters of operation at very short notice. We are the most awesome, we are the most dedicated, and we are in the process of becoming the most capable, combat-ready, and lethal Federal Reserve Force in the history of the United States of America. You're a part of this team, you're a part of history. Why? Why are we doing what we're doing? We're doing what we're doing because of a threat that's appearing on, if you will, the radar screen of America, the radar screen of the world, a threat, an environment that's unlike anything any of you have seen in your military career. I'm just telling you, we live in a world where adversaries, potential adversaries and threats in the United States of America are different than we've seen in the past, at least in the past 25, 30 years, in terms of ability to challenge us across every domain. I'm not just talking about Daesh or other asymmetric terrorist operations organizations, I'm talking about near-peer competitors that have the ability to disrupt and to confound us in every domain. Think cyber, think the seas, think space, think, if you will, the digital architecture. That's GPS, that's precision navigation and timing. That is the ability to create significant friction for us in the future operational environment. What are we doing? How are we getting after it? We're getting after it by building the most capable, combat-ready, and lethal Federal Reserve Force in the history of the United States of America. Force that's able to put large numbers of formations out the door into harm's way quickly enough to be relevant for the fight, prepared and ready to take it on. How do we get after this? Fundamentally, it's about leadership, that's you. It's about energy, that's all of us. It's about execution. We're getting after this by unleashing the power of this team. And we're getting after this by making sure each and every one of the members of this tribe understands that at the end of the day, we got two things that most people in this nation don't have, most people in this world don't have. Number one, we got a mission to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. We got something else that's really awesome. We got us, we got this tribe, we got this team, we got each other. We serve the people of the United States, we live our values, and we take care of each other. This is America's Army Reserve, spread across the nation and around the world. Dedicated citizen soldiers who stepped up to the plate to defend freedom, to defend liberty, defend the American way of life. I see the future of this Army Reserve, and the future is awesome. It's dedicated soldiers, many of whom have got awesome civilian jobs that are also willing to take time away from those jobs, take time away from their families to go out, to come out here to train and to be prepared to support freedom and liberty and peace in our time. So I appreciate your support, I appreciate your service, I appreciate everything you're doing. Let your families know how much they mean to all of us. For those of you who got civilian jobs, how many got civilian jobs? Make sure your employers know that they're a key part of making sure that we remain on this road to awesome and building the most capable, combat-ready, and lethal Federal Reserve Force in the history of the United States of America. Cool.
Now we're going to talk to future soldier Sosnowsky out of the Vestal recruiting station. Now she is waiting to go to basic training, and she's actually finishing up this year of her four-year degree in psychology from Cuca College, which is a fantastic college. Great lake too. Most people actually desire to go up there and spend those summer months up there at Cuca Lake. Now she's leveraging it to help pay for some of that college and also enhance her skill set for that end result that we all pursue, is building that resume for those future endeavors and future employment opportunities.
I'm a pre-basic. I plan on leaving in January, and then I'm going to cook school right after that. Well, I've always really been interested in, enlisting into military service, and I thought the opportunity was really great. I'm a senior at Cuca College. I'm studying psychology, and I figured, this is going to be a good way to take a step into the workforce. This is a great unit. I absolutely love it. Everyone's really welcoming. They're extremely helpful, and they want you to get the best training that you can. So since I am pre-basic, I haven't had training as of yet. I kind of just am able to do some prep in the kitchen. I use the ovens and things like that, baby steps. but you know, now I get to use the mobile kitchen and things like that, which is really exciting. I think it's a really great experience. I think it's really going to help me when I end up leaving for basic. I'm going to have kind of a background knowledge of formation and actually understanding, you know, what to do when I'm in the kitchen, especially at cook school. So I think it's going to be a really good help. I have some really, you know, great sergeants, and everyone else that's here to help me. Master Sergeant is really good. He takes his time with me and really shows me how to do things the right way.
All right, welcome back. Now we're going to hear from Master Sergeant Becker. He is the senior non-commissioned officer out of the 698th. He is the first sergeant. So again, the first sergeant of your company is your senior non-commissioned officer in that unit. He's a great guy. I've met with him several times. He loves his job more than anybody I've met. I'm telling you right now, he loves it. And he gives us a lot of good information about some of the opportunities out there if you're looking to, you know, if you're that junior in high school where you could do what's called a split option. I'll let him explain it more, but it's a really great benefit if you're pursuing that, you know, fall semester down the road after you graduate of your senior year.
I am the acting first sergeant of the 698th Quartermaster Company right here in Nichols, New York. I'm also the mess sergeant, which means I take care of feeding all the soldiers that you see here. We're able to tow this kitchen into a field environment, pop it down, cook the food, feed the soldiers. Wherever they are, we are. We can actually serve in about an hour from start to finish. We set it up, we get the food hot. Soldiers, as you see, come up one side, grab their plate, go down the other side, find a place to eat. This past summer, I served 800 soldiers off one mobile kitchen trailer, the MKT. We have here at the 698th invented the perpendicular serving line, which means the soldier doesn't come parallel down the line, which wastes a lot of time. They come across perpendicular. I can serve 800 people in less than 30 minutes. Sometimes things are simulated on training cycles, but there's always a live mission in the kitchen because every soldier you see is always hungry. Nothing scares cooks in the United States Army Reserve. Once you enlist in the Army, we're going to send you to basic training. We're going to teach you how to be a soldier. You're going to learn how to shoot, move, and communicate and survive on the battlefield. Then you'll go to your job school, okay? In this case, food service. All right, takes about 8-10 weeks to learn how to be an Army cook. And then one great thing about being in the food service field, there's a ton of civilian positions. Restaurants are always hiring, hotels are always hiring, hospitals. Everybody eats, you'll never be without a job. The split option, what we do is we enlist 17-year-old juniors. Your junior, between junior and senior year, you go to basic training. Then you come back, finish high school. After that, you go to your job skill training. And it's a great idea. My brilliant recruiter friends figured out because you need 1 year time in service before the Army will pay for your college. So as soon as you're done with high school, you can go to college and Uncle Sam will pick up the tab. Hey, if you're looking for a part-time job, stop in and see the guys at any recruiting station, but especially my good friends at the Vestal recruiting station.
Hey, welcome back. I am, again, Sergeant First Class Michael Warwick. And let me introduce you to our new station commander, Staff Sergeant Mandy Platt. She came to us a couple weeks ago. And I don't want to talk too much about her background. I don't want to steal her thunder. So we'll let her talk a little bit and introduce herself to our audience.
Hello, everyone. I'm Staff Sergeant Mandy Platt. I am going to be the station commander for the Horseheads Recruiting Center. I'm excited to be here. I'm coming from Kentucky. I've been in the Army 9 years. I used to become a paralegal before I became a recruiter. And I've traveled all over. I've been to Korea, I've been to Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. I've been to Washington State. I've deployed to Afghanistan, served some time in Kentucky, and now I'm here. I'm ready to rock and roll. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in psychology, so any of those looking at pursuing an education in the Army, definitely let me know. I can help you out. But I'm excited to work with everyone and experience the New York winter and weather I've heard so much about.
That's awesome. Yeah, welcome again to New York State. And we're getting those winter months, and you know, some of that black ice out there is a safety thing. So again, audience, please be careful out there during the holidays, shopping, so on and so forth. So again, yeah, welcome, Staff Sergeant Platt.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day. I appreciate you staying, tuning in and watching our show, and we'll see you soon.
Face.
Your neighbor, your doctor, your colleague,
Precinct. Horse.
your employee, even your boss. They are our friends, they are our family, they are part of our communities, and they are a critical element of our national defense.
Order.
They are the men and women of the United States Army Reserve, a life-saving, life-sustaining force for the Army and the nation. The Army Reserve is America's global operational reserve force, providing quick access to trained and ready soldiers, leaders, and units wherever and whenever needed, anywhere around the world. Technically trained and battle-tested, today's citizen soldiers provide the skills and capabilities essential to Army and Joint Force operations in today's complex global security environment. The Army Reserve's Plan, Prepare, and Provide readiness model and private-public partnership program ensure that its soldiers remain ready and accessible to the total force. Plan entails ensuring the Army Reserve is part of the active Army's and the total force's planning process. Prepare is how the Army Reserve trains its soldiers, leaders, and units, ensuring they are resilient and ready to support the active Army and total force. Provide involves the deployment of Army Reserve soldiers in support of missions in the homeland and abroad. Army Reserve soldiers routinely leverage their civilian skills, training, and experience to enhance their military capabilities. The private-public partnership program takes that idea to a new level by combining civilian professional development with military training. Soldiers get the skills they need to advance their civilian careers. Employers get the highly trained employees they need to compete in a competitive marketplace. Army Reserve soldiers are leaders in today's most important sectors, from innovating future technologies in Silicon Valley to cutting-edge medical, cyber, and green energy initiatives. And when natural disasters or other emergencies strike the homeland, the same forces stand ready to support relief efforts at home, bringing civilian expertise to meet the challenges of the 21st century, applying military training and real-world experiences to meet the demands of today's dynamic environment, committed to serving country and community, uniting the best of both worlds. This is their duty. This is their honor. This is your Army Reserve.